Welcome in, Broncos country, to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, a little at-home edition for you today on a Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me. I am currently making this video right around 11:30 Central Time. I'm off to get a haircut pretty soon, but I wanted to get this out to you because I feel like this is the piece of information that I have been looking for from Sean Payton for the entirety of my time as the Broncos Breakdown host. Now, if you clicked into the title of this video, you would have seen the headline, which is Sean Payton makes a bold claim about the 2025 Broncos. And he absolutely did. We're going to talk about everything that he said and how it was echoed and what this team believes about Sean Payton's words. But the first thing I need you to do is hit that subscribe button, like the video as well if you haven't already. It definitely helps us out, grows the channel, and it is 100% completely free. We are on our way to 37,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable. Okay. So this morning I get through with my workout and I get a little push notification on my phone on a recent interview that DNVR put out, 104.3. And I was listening to it. I was also reading along on some, related articles, and I found this to be very interesting. Mike Kliss was recently on DNVR and gave an update as to what this team believes they can be in 2025. And he said, and I quote, I'm going to actually pull this up for you so I don't misquote it. Just give me a second here. I usually have all of my notes, on screen for you guys during the day, but this is the one time where I don't actually have it. And here's what it said. He said, I know, this is Mike Kliss talking, I know inside the locker room, Sean Payton has this team believing they are better than the Chiefs right now, end quote. And then he went on to say, talking about how Payton instills a certain swag in this team. And it just feels different this year, does it not? I know that head coaches are supposed to be the presidential speakers of a locker room, so to speak. They are the ones that maintain and control chaos. They never let their emotions sway them. And usually the overly emotional head coaches are the ones that end up, letting the team in the locker room fall apart if there's a bad season. But this time, it feels like Sean Payton really believes that this team can win a Super Bowl. And if you're saying that you're better than the Chiefs now, or has the team believing that you're better than the Chiefs now, that to me says numbers. And here's why. Because most NFL head coaches will say, we got to go out and compete. Every Sunday there's a chance to compete. Let's go out and compete with the best of them. We can compete with the best of them. But your head coach, Sean Payton, is saying, we're better than the Chiefs now. And that, to me, has a certain level of, it's concrete, right? It feels almost like it's etched in stone. And that, to me, is wildly confident. And it is a little bit of emotion. And I love that. And I started to break down the roster construction between the Chiefs and the Broncos. And you'd be surprised at how many areas the Broncos, in my opinion, are better than the Chiefs in. So what I want to do for the rest of the episode is kind of break down, from quarterback basically out, the head-to-head matchup, at least on paper right now, in roster construction between the Chiefs and the Broncos. And let's start with the quarterback. Obviously, Broncos fans, you know this better than anybody, Patrick Mahomes is still elite. Still the number one quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. Better than Bo Nix at this point, obviously. So we don't need to, I guess, deep dive further as to how Bo can be better than Patrick, or, how close is the race. Let's just call it what it is. Pat is better than Bo at this point. We'll move on. Let's go to the running backs. I would have told you that before we drafted R.J. Harvey and before J.K. Dobbins signed, that the Chiefs' running back situation was far and away better. But now looking at it, I think it's a lot more even than people give it credit for. The Chiefs obviously rolling with Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt as their 1 and 2. J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey while they haven't, stepped foot in a Broncos uniform on the field yet, I feel like can compete on any Sunday with those two. I'll still give the slight edge to Pacheco and Kareem Hunt only because the two of them have a full season under their belt. Pacheco is clearly proven to be a reliable RB1. And Kareem Hunt has known that system for many, many years. Obviously, this is his second stint with the team. So I'll give the slight edge right now to the Kansas City Chiefs in terms of running back construction. But then we go to the wide receivers. And the three big ones for the Chiefs, obviously, are Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Hollywood Brown. And then I look at the Broncos' big three. Courtland Sutton, a combo of Marvin Mims and Devon Bailey, or you can maybe slide Troy Franklin in there. And I think that's an even push. I think Rashee Rice and Courtland Sutton are right there, head-to-head, even with each other. And then Hollywood Brown and Devon Bailey. I need to see more from Devon Bailey, but I do believe that he was trending at the end of the season in that forward direction that you wanted to see him go. And then Marvin Mims and Xavier Worthy are basically the same player. Can we all agree on that? They're both gadget-style players. Xavier Worthy had moments last year, and so did Marvin Mims. So I look at that, and I say, those are almost dead nuts even. And honestly, when it comes to the depth at wide receiver, I haven't even mentioned Pat Bryant yet. They drafted Jalen Royals. The Chiefs did. I would take Pat Bryant over Jalen Royals all day and twice on Sunday. And Troy Franklin and Sky Moore, again, pretty much dead nuts even. So I think it's a complete push right now, at least with the wide receivers, the weapons, so to speak. So if you're keeping score right now, we'll take the Chiefs 2 to the Broncos 0, and there's a tie. But then it gets a lot better, trust me. I knew the first three were going to be like, wow, this doesn't sound good at all. The Broncos' offensive line is far and away better than the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not even a debate. The Broncos clearly have a much more gelled, a much more talented offensive line than the Chiefs do. Chiefs' biggest issue last year was their offensive line, and they lost Joe Thuney in a trade to the Bears. So this is a completely different and reconstructed offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Broncos are rolling out the same 5 starters that they had last year. So I will take the Broncos offensive line all day and all Sundays, all 17 of them. So give the edge to the Broncos there. And then I don't even think we need to debate the defense, do we? Because defensive line, linebackers, secondary, the Broncos kick the Chiefs' ass up and down the field. I mean, the Broncos defense was just, you saw it, was just rated number 1 overall by Pro Football Network as the number 1 defense. I think the Chiefs were on that list at like 9 or 10, somewhere around there. I'd have to go back and reread the article. Don't, blame me for not reading about the Chiefs as much as I should have. But the Broncos defense is so perfectly constructed that I don't think there is a team outside of the Philadelphia Eagles that you could even make the argument about. And the Eagles mopped the floor with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year. I'm sure a sight that all Broncos fans were happy to see, albeit not in the Super Bowl yourselves. But I look at this and I say, now it becomes a head coaching debate because I feel like these two teams even each other out. Yes, obviously the quarterback right now give the edge to the Chiefs, and I will give the slight edge to the Chiefs running backs as well. But everything else feels either even or the Broncos have the edge. And Andy Reid is a first ballot Hall of Fame head coach, easily the number 1 head coach in the NFL. I don't think that's a debate either. But Sean Payton is not far behind him. I was talking to a multitude of hosts at Chat Sports the other day. We were debating who the best top 10 head coaches were in the NFL. And all of the guys that I asked, and there were at least 6 or 7 of them, all unanimously had Sean Payton in the top 6. Unanimously. So it's not that far. Sean Payton is also a Hall of Fame head coach. And I think with the coaching staff that he has under him, it's another toe-to-toe, heavyweight matchup every single time you're going to square off against the Chiefs. And last year, Bo was a rookie. And the Broncos should have swept the Chiefs last year. The blocked field goal, you guys remember it better than anybody. I was calling the game. It was insanity to think the Chiefs should have won that game. And now I know that the Broncos won that second game. It was, week 18, where the Chiefs rolled out their JV squad. All second stringers. Broncos won that game handedly. But I'm not so sure that Chiefs fans even believe they're going to win the division this year. And I started combing all of the ESPN analysts that do predictions and betting odds for the division winners before the season starts. Excuse me. And what I found was the Chiefs are still favorited. But if you go back over the last 3 to 4 years, you're going to like this. It's the lowest odds they've ever had to win the division. So, and I'd have to go back and pull up the actual odds that I saw. But I do remember seeing that out of all of the last 4 seasons, this is the year the Chiefs have the lowest odds to win the division. And truthfully, I don't even know that they should be favored. Last year, they might have gone 15-2 or whatever they went, but they were not that good. They were a 11-12 win team, in my opinion, at best, that got lucky breaks and a little bit of help from the refs. I'm going to be the guy that says that. So I think now, from what Sean Payton is saying, which is we are better than the Chiefs now. He has those players believing they're the best team in the AFC West. And I don't have a lot of disagreement with him. I really don't. So I am excited for the remainder of the season. Or not the remainder, the beginning of the season. And, of course, all of this is going to depend on injuries, because one of the things that is probably the most underlooked value for a team heading later on into the season is their health and depth. If you've got the healthiest team and you've got the most depth, you are going to go far, period. I mean, that's what happened to the Detroit Lions last year. That's the reason that they lost to the Commanders. Their defense, they had like 9 starters out in that playoff game, and they just couldn't compete. Jaden Daniels was too good. So I think with the progression that you're going to see from the Broncos' young players and with the perfectly constructed defense that Vance Joseph is going to be running, I don't see a world where the Chiefs are sliding into that division win with ease. They're going to have to fight tooth and nail to claw it and pry it from the Broncos' hands. And that's where I think, everything kind of sits right now as we get ready to go into training camp. So if you haven't already, like I said, remember to like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. It definitely is free. We'll never charge you a single thing. And also, let's get some Go Broncos going down in the chat, man. I'm excited. It's a Saturday. I'm feeling good, about to go get my hair cut. I know that the weather right now in Denver is pretty hot, but, hey, we're right in the midst of summer, but we still have so much Broncos content to talk with you here on the channel. So like I said, one more time, like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Send it to a Broncos fan who's never seen our videos. And I'm going to get ready to close this video out as I try to do things at the same time. My name is Moose, and if you have any recommendations for what you want to see next on the channel, make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. As always, be cool.